Okay, I admit it, I'm a sucker for a clock. It's a nice app to write, you know what you want it to do, and it's a nice way to learn new hardware and or software. Here are two of them. Both will be loaded, the software will be uploaded to my website, iliketheinternet.com, and it'll be obvious to scroll down a little bit. It's a really ugly website, but it's functional. That was my finger. That was my finger again. Let me fix this. There we go. Now we're going to talk about the one on the right first. It's a little binary clock. A lot of people have trouble reading it, but it doesn't take long to get used to it. This is on a WeMos D1 Mini. The only other thing it has on it is the display, the 8x8 matrix. As you can see, each binary digit is represented by two LEDs coming on, and there's a colon in between on the third row from the left and the third row from the right. Those are the two lights there that are by themselves. That's the only two that are by themselves. These two clocks are showing the same time. So on the right one there, the left column, there'd be a 1 bit. The second from the left would be a 4. Then 1 and 2 are on in the next column, so that makes a 3. The 2 only is on, so that makes 1432. And talking about the seconds before you get it through talking about it, it's changed anyway. So it's going to go to, there's 8, 9, there's 40. It's going to go up to 59, of course, and then increment the minute. So that's the little binary clock. Now we'll move on to the more interesting one. This one shows indoor and outdoor temperature, time, date, day of the week, barometric pressure, which is showing now, and relative humidity. I did it all in Fahrenheit because I live in the US, but it's easily changed to centigrade. In fact, the program stores everything in centigrade, and then I convert it to Fahrenheit for display or writing to files as needed. This one's a little more complex. It has a WeMos D1. You can see there the antenna, the Wi-Fi antenna sticking up, and the LED. It's actually blinking, but it isn't showing here. It'll blink louder here on the 4th, 6th, and 8th second when I go out and do samples and write files and things. It has a power, I guess they're called shields, power shield sticking on top of the WeMos D1, and it runs off to power. The USB is plugged in, but it has had the power wire cut. So it sits on a COM port to the computer over here on its right, but does not take power from the computer. Unfortunately, when I boot up the computer, like all of these little devices, it restarts the WeMos, but that's okay because I'm keeping a history file on an SD card. Let's look at the top of it here. You can see better. There's the tripler base on the bottom, and it has two Dallas sensors. One is inside, and it is sitting right there, and the other one is outside. It's connected to that brown Cat 3 wire, and they are connected to the base directly. Then there's the second card, shield, I'll say the word, is a real-time clock and SD card. I'm not using the real-time clock. I'm using the timer built into the unit and disciplining, that's hard to say, it every time I go out and get time from an NTP server. I happen to be using my own. Then, of course, the OLED on the front, I draw a little square around it, a box around it. It's not a square, it's a rectangle. Then on the right side, I have on that perf board there, in the middle, there's a BMP 280, and then on the front is an SHT30. So that gives me 3 inside temperatures. I average them, and 1 outside temperature. But there's more. But wait, there's more. This unit also reads remote sensors, up to 9 of them, which can send in temperature or alarm. And that remote temperature sensor code will be included. It also runs on a WeMos. Currently it's the D1 R2, not the Mini, but I'm going to be converting over to use a Mini. In fact, it's sitting right here. That's going to be my remote sensor. I'm going to put a Dallas sensor on it and use it for another remote, or replace the larger WeMos remote with this little guy. So that's that part. Let's see, I wanted to show you the web page. This unit also produces a web page, and it's conditionally assembled, so you can either have inside only or inside and outside temperatures. We can see here on the screen that I'm getting outside reports via UDP. It'll also take reports via HTTP. And it supports, of course, BMP 280, SHT30, and Dallas. All that code is in there. You just select which one you want to use. Then here's what it produces. Here are 2 units that I'm running here in the house. The one on the left has 2 graphs, and that's indoor and outdoor. And the one on the right has only indoor. So on the left, you can see it has temp I and O. Let me get that carrot out of the way. There we go. And also the relative humidity, barometric pressure, and an hourly temperature, plus it shows high and low temps throughout the day. This one does the same thing, but of course only inside, so it shows where this one showed outside, in and out. This one shows temp in Fahrenheit and Celsius. They both show the high and low over the last 24 hours. The green line is now, so anything to the right of the green line is 24 hours ago. So you can tell if it's getting warmer or cooler. Looks like today outside's about the same as it was yesterday. There's a couple of little dips there. That's where I was working on it yesterday, and it ended up using a temperature from the day before, which was a little bit warmer. That's unusual in that I was working on it and missed a temperature. I try not to do that. I record every 10 minutes.